Chapter 4 The Tree and the Vultures. I was in 5th standard when my parents got transferred to West Bengal, Bagdogra to be precise. It was located towards the Sikkim border, so the people there were less Bengalis and more from the northeast regions of India. It was a small town situated at the foot of the Darjeeling Mountains. Beautiful sceneries, great people, and the best momos I have eaten till today. Although Bagdogra was a town, we lived in the interior, about 10 to 15 kilometers from the town. The army cantonment was wild, as in literally, situated inside the forest. So we used to have regular visits from elephants, monkeys, snakes, mongoose, rabbits, and vultures. There were many more, but I don't have visual confirmation for many of them, so I think it's better not to mention. Our quarters was located at the edge of the accommodation area, so we had a great view in front of us. From our balcony, we could see the large mountain ranges that used to shine like a Christmas tree during the night. And there were grasslands as far as the eye could see. The roads leading to the colony were visible from our house, so I could see my parents coming from a long distance, and that has saved me many times from getting beating from my father. But the problem was it works both ways, so it was not always that great. Moving on, there was a rail track at a distance, and we could see trains passing by every now and then. Living at the edge of the colony and near to the forest, we got to see the elephants up close, and if in a good mood, the elephants would show off some of their football skills with the water tank of the lower quarters. It's West Bengal, even elephants love football. Above all, the real privilege of being in that quarters was that if the weather was clear, we got to see the Kanchenjunga hills, the highest peak in India and part of the Himalayan range. It was truly a heavenly view, so mesmerizing that we would sit for hours on the balcony looking at it, talking and having tea. All this seems too good to be true, right? Well, that is because I haven't told you about the tree yet. Yes, there was a tree right in front of our house. It was so big that even from our balcony we had to tilt our head backward perpendicular to our back to see its top. It was so wide that it covered the view of the closest mountain. And trust me, the mountain was too close, yet the tree covered it whole. It was so big that almost 50 vultures used to sit on it, all at the same time. It used to be a terrifying sight, I tell you. For people who don't know about vultures, they are one of the biggest birds alive, and definitely they were bigger than me at that time. I think even now they are still bigger than me. They had big wings, had long featherless neck and head, long and sharp nails, and had a scary face with scary big beak. The only thing that gave me some relief was they only ate things that were already dead. But you see, it's not like we can file a court case against the bird if it, for a change, kills me first and then eats me. I mean, legally speaking, it did eat me after I was dead. And as I will be dead by then, it wouldn't matter much either, right? So now you see, this was the next big fear I had to face in my life. Every day passing the tree while going to school, walking past it while coming back, while going to the playground and back. It was terrifying. And the one big drawback of living at the edge of the quarters is that you have to walk home alone. As if all this was not enough, I had friends who used to tell me stories of people disappearing while crossing the tree, vultures catching kids and taking them away to the treetop to eat them, of course. Playing cricket in front of the house was the worst. You see, during exams, Parents didn't allow kids to go out to play. But my parents were really cool, and also they knew I wasn't going to study much. So I would be out there in the evening, and there were two or three like me, and as there were just a few of us, we wouldn't go to the ground and we'll start playing in front of our house. But most of the time, it would be my house as there were no four wheelers there. See, the issue was that I was a horrible fielder, so I would drop almost all the catches that will eventually go near the tree, and I had to cross the fence and get it back. During batting, most of the time I would get duck out, and the one or two rare occasions when my bat will eventually touch the ball, it will go towards the tree, and again I would have to do the Indiana Jones stuff. I mean, I did felt like that when I was doing it, but sometimes it so happened that it would be someone else's fault and I would be asked to go, as they would say that the tree and the vultures knew me and hence won't hurt me, as if they were my mamas or something. In the 6 years we were there, the tree or the vultures never once abducted or killed anybody. Maybe it wasn't haunted at all. Maybe it was just a really old tree, the only tree in the vast grassland. Maybe the vultures weren't that cunning or dangerous. Maybe they were as scared of me as I was of them. Maybe not as much I was, but who really knows? Maybe. But one thing is for sure, that it was the most amazing tree I had ever seen in person till date. And I hope that it is still there, scaring the kids in the locality. But only if they would take their eyes off the smartphones and look at the majestic tree for once.